Stephen Gold is a statistical freak. Look at this chart. He is... Yeah, he's just a freak. That is literally the only way to describe this man. His goal scoring has been absolutely phenomenal. He got man of the match in pretty much every game during October. 10 goals in 5 games. And then he got injured. And he's currently out for up to 4 weeks. Which you might think, that's not that bad. 4 weeks, it could be worse. Look, we've got a very, very packed schedule for the month of November. Today, we've got the FA Cup first round against Cambridge United away, and without our star man, I'm a little bit concerned for the month ahead. Yes, folks, how is it going? And welcome back to Park to Prem. Today we are back for the FA Cup first round. I am up bright and early recording this the morning that you're going to see it. That is the reason that I sound like I've just rolled out of bed. I'm fine. I'm not actually sick. Everything's good with the world. Today we've got Cambridge United, a team who currently sit towards the foot of the League 2 table, a team that we could even possibly be doing battle with come next year. Their manager is Gary Monk, a man who, of course, not that long ago was managing relatively high up in England, managing at Swansea, Leeds United, Middlesbrough, and, now he manages Cambridge at the bottom of League 2. A slight fall from grace. Unfortunately, Stephen Gold, who, as I mentioned, has been in pretty good form, unavailable for this game, and he has just been ridiculous. 22 goals in 15 games, 6 player of the matches. And well, since you asked, here's some really, really good results. Now, of course, last time out we took on York City and Chesterfield. We're taking on Cambridge today. Since then, we've played just over a month of football and we had some pretty crazy games in this run of results. The first of which was against Oldham. 5-4. We had an XG of 4.49. They had an XG of 1.37. Granted, they did get 2 late goals here to make it look a little closer than it was, but I would be lying if I was to tell you that in the last few minutes, I wasn't panicking just slightly. Stephen Gold did get a hat-trick in this one. Maitland getting a goal. Duffy continuing to do Duffy things. 8 goals, 7 assists from centre attacking mid. Joe Duffy, considering he never played a game of football before he came to us this year, he's looked very good in the middle. And after that goal-scoring bonanza, we took on Woking and Southport. 2 wins, both times fairly narrow. Both times, late goals just making it a surefire thing. Especially against Southport, we were disappointing. The FA Cup 4th qualifying round, a game where we were the better team, we deserved to win. It took until the 93rd minute for Quanta to score for us. His goal scoring this year hasn't been quite as infamous as the year before, but nevertheless, he's been top draw for us this year. 7.56 rating, a very big goal that saw us move into the FA Cup proper. And of course, now with a chance to take on Cambridge, I would like to keep that cup run going. Anyway, after that, we took on Maidstone United, a team towards the top of the table. In this game, Stephen Gold's goal wasn't really enough. Look, we were a tad unlucky in this game, but ultimately we didn't take the chances that came our way. Defensively, a few questions raised. Harker not having a particularly good time in goal this year. I say that, his average rating is fine, but recently he'd been a tad disappointing. This game a bit of an example of that. The good news is, everyone, AOK is here. That is right. The new replacement goalkeeper has arrived, and he has played our 3 most recent games. The 18-year-old, of course, signed from Shelbourne for 25k. He's not been amazing so far, if I'm being honest, but we're going to stick with him today. He's 18, he's young, he's got to learn. One thing I'm slightly concerned about maybe is just the fact that my staff think he's currently a National League player, but only has League 2 potential. Of course, at the age of 18, with this kind of current ability, I'm hoping he's going to far exceed League 2 potential at this level. If you've ever managed here, you kind of have to take what staff say with a little bit of a grain of salt, and often they're going to be wrong when it comes to player potentials. We are going to hope that this is one such example. And well, now we move in to the 3 games that AOK was in goal. The first against Boreham Wood, a 6-2 win. Gold got 5. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I need to say anything more than that. Dylan Crowe as well, on a 9.0 rating at right back. He's still just doing his thing, really. 12 assists in 15, a 7.89 rating. I guess you could argue his average rating is a bit disappointing compared to last year, but he's still been phenomenal. In this game here, we just dismantled Boreham Wood. They had no answer for containing gold. And into the next couple of games, the goals continued to flow. Against Aldershot Town, we won this one 3-2. They got 2 goals back. We were down a man in this game, and this was the game where Stephen Gold got injured. And in fact, the goal that we conceded, the second, Gold was down on the floor injured for. And when it went in, wasn't panicking about the goal. I was just hoping that Stephen Gold wasn't going to be seriously injured. Unfortunately, our worst fears were concerned. Fortunately, we did hold on in this game despite being a man down and get what ends up looking like a really important win. In our most recent game, we took on Morecambe. We won this one 2-1, and Butterworth scored a really satisfying goal. It was a kick-off highlight. Wasn't sure if it was going to result in anything, but it was, as I believe the YouTube comment section has reminded me, a bit of a Yeboah. In off the underside of the crossbar, Duffy playing through Butterworth, takes a touch, hits it first time. Is there a more satisfying kind of finish than that? If there is, let me know. I don't believe it exists. So with all those results, this is how the league table looks. We are top of the table, 2 defeats and 3 draws from 16 games alongside 11 wins. We've had a really good start to the year. It is also worth just reiterating that a lot of the teams around us we have already played now, including Boreham Wood, who, as you saw, we beat 6-2. We've got games in hand on a lot of the teams behind us, but I am concerned that with Steve Gold out for basically the next month and us having a lot of games, we might start to run into a little bit of a problem. He has 22 goals in 15. The next highest goal scorer has 10. He is an absolute freak, isn't he? And just looking across the rest of the player statistics here, in terms of assists, Dylan Crowe leading the way, but Joe Duffy doing well. Fischini as well. I believe that's how you say his name. Fischini, we'll go with it. Look, 5 assists for him in 12. He's looked very, very good at centre mid. I feel like at centre mid, we've been very fluid this year. It's an area of the pitch where we have a hell of a lot of talent, a lot of players who can come in and do a job for us. And I've not really got a best midfield free. Of course, the players battling it out for positions are players like Butterworth and Fischini. Originally, I thought that these two guys would compete for the centre mid on attack kind of position, but actually, Fischini has started to play as the box-to-box midfielder on the right. Jones has played for us as that box-to-box midfielder. He's played for us as the ball-winning midfielder, amongst other roles. But of course, we've got other players like Ibrahim, the Sudanese international, who can play box-to-box midfielder and ball-winning midfielder as well. He is a really well-rounded player for this level. Players like Harry Wallace just have found themselves completely out of the first team altogether. Our centre mid quality really doesn't know any limits. Elsewhere, Jamie Dunn, a good prospect, a player who actually recently signed a new deal, one of a handful of players to do so. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Again, really good player, just with all the centre mid talent that we have. Not really finding his way into the first team as of late. Anyway, I did talk about the contract situation. He has signed a new deal. Elsewhere, Dylan Crowe has signed a new contract at right back. His current deal, or his previous deal rather, ran out at the end of this year. That was not something I wanted to see happen. So we've renewed his deal. Elsewhere, a couple of contracts we're waiting on. Quantza on the verge of signing a new deal on £1,000 a week for a further 2 seasons, which would be a really, really good contract for him to sign. He is the kind of player who I think probably could do a job for us in League 2 in the coming years. And elsewhere, perhaps the most exciting contract, and maybe this contract is why this has happened, but if we just look, we are currently, I was going to say we're currently negotiating. No, he's signed the deal now. Stephen Gold is going to be paid £2,000 a week come the end of the year. Given his recent form, I just had to get a blank sheet of paper in front of him, hand it to him and say, tell me how much you want. I'll give you that and a little bit more for a long-term deal. So he signed it. It's £2,000. It kicks in at the end of this year. That is a big wage rise hike, considering his current wages. But on £2,000 a week, it's a 3 or 4 year deal. I want to say it's a 4-year deal. We can't actually, well, can we check? I don't think we can actually check the terms of it now. I'm going to say it's a 4-year deal. And there is also 3 years extended on top of that if we get promoted, which I would like to think in the next 4 years we will do. So all in all, I have offered Stephen Gold a 7-year contract. That might be something that in a few years we come back to regret. Right now, I just need to time down for as long as possible, I feel like. But anyway, let's get into today's game. It's against Cambridge, just the one game, but it is a big one. League 2 opposition, a decent little test for us. And while in terms of the team for the game, of course, we've got a bit of a hole to fill. And that hole is in the striking position, where Cannonier is going to come in and play as a pressing forward for us. This is a role that I feel like he can do relatively well. I like the pressing forward role a lot in Football Manager. And Cannonier here, pretty capable of playing it. He and Maitland, of course, could be linking up top. That does mean we're lacking a little bit of the aerial threat that Gold would normally possess. Elsewhere in the team, we're looking at Duffy to really stitch together the play in the final third as that advanced playmaker. In the midfield, we're going to go with Foschini, Jones and Butterworth as the trio. A very creative midfield setup, a midfield setup that I'm hoping against League Two oppositions isn't going to get bullied too much. And at the back, I guess this is where some of the real tests might begin. It's worth noting that Josh DeBayo can come back into the team actually for Blake. He was out with a mini suspension. Declan John, by the way, has departed the club on loan. Of course, he was just desperate to leave the club. So after we picked up DeBayo, who has by and large been a solid pickup at left back, albeit with a couple of injury issues, I just didn't have a spot for Declan John in the team. Also, just one more player to mention, Mbeka. Important for us last year, less important for us this year. He wasn't happy that I didn't play him in the position that I promised to play him in last year. We've all been there in Football Manager, where a player kicks up an unreasonable stink and just decides they don't want to be here anymore. With all the midfield talent that we have, I tried to sell him. No one wanted him. He's out on loan. I feel like I've done him a bit of a disservice by not mentioning the loan last time out. But that's where Mbeka is. He's still contracted to us, just not for very long. Of course, in goal, it's AOK's live commentary debut. A very big moment for the 18-year-old. Hopefully, he's going to step up to the occasion. And elsewhere, of course, it's Terry and Quansah at the back. Daily reminder, I'd like to sign Frankie Terry at the end of his contract from Colchester. Whether or not we can make that happen, I suppose, remains to be seen. We are going to submit the team for this game, get straight into it. The FA Cup, a magical tournament, a tournament where teams can go on long fairy tale runs and make a load of bank. We are certainly going to hope that that is going to be the case for us here today. I'm going to tell the players that I trust them to go and make the difference and make me proud. Whether or not we can make that happen, we're about to find out over the next 90 minutes. We're away from home. They, of course, as I mentioned, bottom half of League Two. And well, with that in mind, I want to believe we can make something happen as Quansah, early chance for us in front of the away fan faithful, heads just over the bar. Another set piece for us here. It's in a wide area. Foschini floats it towards the back stick, but Matthews collects for them. Cambridge now maybe going to look to build it out from the back, or maybe they're going to look to just lump it long. Dylan Crowe going to pick up the loose ball and look to bring it out himself. Now with Terry, they are not pressing high up the pitch, are they, Cambridge? They're playing a very negative brand of football as the home team. Butterworth, Foschini, plays through Maitland. Lovely build-up play. Can we have a finish at the end of it? We absolutely can. Maitland takes it round the goalkeeper. And I was a little bit worried that maybe without Stephen Gold, the goals would start to dry up. Where were they going to come from? Players like Maitland and Cannonier, players who I felt like had been a little wasteful this year, hadn't taken the chances that had come their way. We need them to step up. And right there, Maitland has stood up. The goalkeeper got a fingertip to the kind of dribble around him, but it wasn't enough to take it out the path of Maitland, who squeezes it in from an acute angle, gives us the lead halfway through the first half. First shot, first goal. We'll take it. I actually can't get over this Cambridge United shape. They are playing 5 at the back with a singular striker and a singular centre attack in mid. And, I mean, it's not really working for them. We've got another corner here. Quansah's going to whip it in. Cannonier this time at the near post, trying to be the new Stephen Gold. Doesn't quite have the 15 heading of Stephen Gold. And, well, another set piece here. The rain is pouring down, by the way. Imagine if games could get abandoned mid-match in Football Manager. Has that ever been a thing in the Football Manager series? I don't feel like it has been. It is lashing it down here. And while the ball floated towards the back post, Butterworth heads wide of the post. But we are massively on top in this game. Cambridge United, for whatever reason, deciding to play a 5 at the back. You can kind of see why they're struggling at the foot of League Two if this is how they play against teams that are weaker than them. We're doing really, really well. And I'm just going to tell the players as much. Hopefully, complacency isn't going to sneak in here. But right now, 57% of possession away from home. They've not had a single shot on target. You have to imagine there's a point where they change their strategy in this game, Cambridge, but it just doesn't feel like it's coming. DeBayo plays it forward to Cannonier, who does really well, actually, to keep the ball alive. DeBayo back with it to Foschini. Crowe's going to be on the overlap on the right. Jones may pick him out or may go left again. It's DeBayo with it. What can he do? Loads of players in the middle. Floats it back stick. Keeper misses it altogether, but it goes all the way across to Field, who plays it forward. But because Cambridge are just playing with the singular striker, Dylan Crowe just has all the time in the world. He can pick up the ball. He can get his head up. He can look for a pass. And we can look to build once again from the back. Cannonier running at the defence. Gives it to Foschini. Duffy, Maitland. It hit the woodwork. It would have been offside. But I love the first kind of touch, kind of instant passing play there to transition through the middle. wasn't a case of touch and move, it was just first time pass after first time pass, a relentless experience for the Cambridge defence to try and contain. Well, it may even look to continue here because we've got the ball and we're just going to continue with confidence and swagger to play it out here. Maitland, Foschini, we are playing some beautiful football in this game. Duffy, Butterworth, Maitland, it's superb, it's beautiful. That is one of the most satisfying goals you are going to see in FM this year. That was just a delight. We've shown up here against a team in the league above us and we've torn them apart through passing. Duffy to Butterworth. I mean, this is so nice. The ball there to Maitland is superb, and Maitland's ball to Cannonier is nice too. We're proving here, maybe, just maybe, we're not just a one-man band. We're not relying on Stephen Well, we are. He's got 20 goals in kind of 15 games. We are relying on him a little bit in the league, but ultimately, and I don't care if that might have been offside, ultimately, we are a team of footballers who are all capable of playing ball or something. And while we could even go for a third, Butterworth, Duffy. Of course, in real life, Cambridge United went on a cup run. They aren't going on a cup run here. Dylan Crowe getting an elusive goal. That might be his first ever goal for the club. I don't remember. He gets a lot of assists. It is his first ever goal for the club. Dylan Crowe, I mean, that'll be a trivia question one day. The man with like 50 assists in 2.5 seasons finally gets his first goal. And he just bends it into the bottom corner from outside the box. It's a sensational finish. We're 3-0 up. Cambridge United have not looked good enough here. A-OK in goal has had nothing to do, but it could be a clean sheet on his live com debut for the 18-year-old. And well, we might not be done yet because Cannonier's just been played through. He turns inside, gives it to Butterworth. Oh my word. I mean, Cambridge have looked awful. Let's not pretend they've not looked really bad. But we have put on an absolute clinic here. That was such a nice goal. Butterworth just placing it into the top corner. This ball over to Cannonier was really nice. He took it down superbly, lays it inside. Butterworth, one touch, bang. Pick that out. Oh my word. Can you tell that I've enjoyed watching this game? I was a little bit nervous going into this. No Stephen Gold. No, we've been told we're the Stephen Gold merchants. Well, we're not. We can do it without him. I mean, look at this sea of ratings. I'm scared to take anyone off, but we'll do a little bit of rotation here. Going to bring in Cabazuto and also Jamie Dunn at centre mid. I feel like with all our talent at centre mid, we have to keep things rotating. We have to keep everyone happy, and we are kind of juggling playing time maybe a little bit, but a rare chance here to make some subs without any real fear of consequence. And, well, the consequence of that performance is a 4-0 win. A flurry of goals in the second half secured it for us. 3 scored in the space of 8 minutes. We were, I think it goes without saying, absolutely sensational. Very, very proud of that performance. Couldn't have asked for a better performance against, well, what should have been a bigger test, really, to be honest. But it does mean we go into the FA Cup second round, which means that next episode, we can come back for the FA Cup second round. I don't know who we're going to be drawn against just yet. Dylan Crowe got man of the match because, I mean, of course he did. 68 passes, 5 key passes. He just stitched everything together. I can't see when the FA Cup draw is here, so it might not be for a little while. So, you know what? We'll just leave it as a little bit of a mystery for next episode. Next episode, by the way, I will be trying to get a double header live com to you. I know some people feel a little bit robbed when there's just one match in an episode, but because I've got some building work going on in my house at the moment with my kitchen and getting the floor relaid, I've got to record at some weird, unsociable hours in order to get videos out for you. Well, for this video today. But anyway, gang, we are going to wrap things up here. We're in the FA Cup still. We're going into the second round. You know, if we win that one, we could end up in the third round. Premier League opposition, maybe a big payday. I wouldn't necessarily complain about that because financially things have been a little bit better. But naturally, as we've climbed up the league, as the wage budget's gone up and we're looking to spend to get that success, the budget has taken a little bit of a hit. But the good news is I'm working within the budgets. I'm being a good boy. It's down to the board and the chairman and the people who do the finances here to figure out how to actually make it work. Of course, a cup run would probably make their job just a little bit easier. But anyway, gang, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. As always, if you have enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on it. Hopefully, Stephen Gold will be healed for the FA Cup second round. Hopefully, we can keep this run going that little bit further. You'll find out tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. And until next time, it is me, Jack. I'll talk to you all in a bit. I'm out.